Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Midnight Madness with Johnny Midnight. I'm going to be doing a little 5-star arena grinding in Marvel Contest of Champions. I got up to where I can use my 6-star champs, so I'm going to be going at it, trying to get as much points and get these units in battle. Ready. Shouldn't be too hard. I'm still at the beginning. I'm about 6 matches in. When you zigged when you should have zagged. This is going to be the harder match. I got class disadvantage because I'm using a mutant against Spidey. I got lucky there. Come on, release your special 2. Oh yeah, good. Was a little worried there that if I ran in at that point in time that he might be able to intercept me or defeat in war. That was kind of expected because we only had 4 people on defense. Because in between seasons, people don't want to join, they want to relax, which is understandable. This is where I usually run 2 of my 6 stars. And then I run like a low-grade 4th star. Do that, I think that. What I do is I go to like an R1, because that just gives me an offset. I call it sandbagging a little bit. I'll see if I can try to win this one. Like, look at that pitiful damage. Oh, blocking sucks. Luckily, your specials are easy to avoid, but I went in and got parried. It sucks. This match is pretty much a lost hope, but... So a lot of new players, they wonder how you can get to that infinite streak and just get these really easy matches. Well, what you got to do is start building up on ranks or rounds 1 through 5 and you're just gonna put, you know, your basic R1 and R2. You could do your R3, 5 stars, and just get the ball rolling. Once you hit 5, though, the difficulty is gonna go way up, and it's gonna start becoming any like around your power level. So what you want to do is you're going to have that 3 times multiplier, and you're going to want to sit there and really work at trying to get everything up and up. Ooh, I got to pay attention. I'm like halfway talking and halfway trying to pay attention here. But what you want to do is once you get that 3 times multiplier, you want to run just really good, you know, squads. Usually I do 3 R3s, you know, R4s. You can do that as well, but it's really good to stick with your R3s and save your R4 and R5 5 stars for when you're actually in the weeds there and you're actually in the actual the higher end, like once you get to 10. But I'll kind of show you and guide you how to do this. So I'm just picking 2 6 stars and 1 4 star just to get through this, because at this level, if I throw in these just all 6 stars, I'm going to get what some people call kill squads. Basically, I have about an 8,000-9,000 power range for all my characters that I'm throwing in there, except for that one sandbagger. If I threw them all at 7,000 to 8,000, I'll all of a sudden have every one of my opponents will have like 14,000, 15,000, sometimes 18,000 if they're running suicides as my opponent, which means I'm just going to die. Or it would just be a challenge, really. You have a high chance to die, especially streaming and you're trying to talk on the mic and trying to fill up some space and time and stuff like that and try to make it entertaining as possible. So you kind of, your mind is off in many different areas. So it's best to just throw in 1 sandbag, and then you'll have 2 fights that are fairly balanced to what the level of your characters are. So you do that through matches 8, 9, and 10. So when it says 7 in that win streak right up there, you're going to want to start doing your sandbagging technique. Generally, you want to stick with like R3s or R4s and then throw in a really low grade 4 star, because that's going to really help you with sandbagging and trying to get that good matchup. Once you get to where it says 10 is where you're going to try to you could either throw in all your 6 stars and do a 6-star lineup, or you can just do a high like R4 or R5. Straight up lineup. You want to throw in all your R4s and R5 5 stars, and what's going to happen is the system is not going to be able to really compete with you on that. So it's going to throw in, instead of throwing you against a player, it's going to throw you against a Thanos team, or it's going to throw you against the Kang team, and that's kind of what you're trying to aim for. Once you do that, you're going to try to do that through the next 5 matches of 10 through 15. Once you have 15 wins, that's when you could just start throwing your 5 stars, 6 stars galore and just keep going and going and going. You start getting to your infinite streak. Now, you don't want to drop really low until after, you know, I wouldn't advise going below R3, quite honestly. A 3 team of R3. You can sometimes throw in 2 R3 and a 1 R2 or an R1. But the lower the power ratings, it can really throw you what they call a death squad, and it could almost be an instant loss for you. I mean, you could kind of put up a good fight, but some people have a real struggle with those. So, like I said, I'm going to show you this, how to get through into an infinite streak. I'm just going to do one run of my 6 stars for you, which should be a really quick grind, because I don't really have... I mean, I have a lot. Trust me, I have a lot of 6 stars. Been playing for over 5 years now. So I've really developed this from the get-go, and I dumped a lot of money in the game, you know, before. I'm not like a free-to-play player who's just sits there and plays the game religiously. No, I've been a fair share of a whale. You know, I've had my whale out moments. But okay, let's see. Come on, Kingpin. We're gonna knock him down. Now, the thing about Kingpin, if you haven't played him or you're not used to him, and you're trying to learn the game, if you put a debuff on him, there's a strong chance that he's going to convert that debuff into a rage, and he's going to build up that rage, and as he builds up rage, his attack's going to go up. So you got to be very careful. You got to try to play him as clean as possible. I kind of matched him up against a bleeder, which was like kind of bad. It's just that I knew that because our match was fairly even in power rating, that it shouldn't have been too much of a problem for me, that I could just get through without getting a most to convert over to his rage. So my bleeds that were stacking up on him, you know, yeah, they convert here or there, but he was not awakened, which can really power him up. I hate that last one. I don't want to try to avoid it, just take it. And I beat Profhoff. Profhoff is a fellow YouTuber. This is my first stream, so... But he's a really good guy. Give him a listen. Really will tell you a lot about some of the deals in the game. He'll tell you tips and strategies. He'll talk about what's going on in the forums and stuff like that. You know, there's some people who say he's not that great. I find him informative, like, you know, with anything. And I'm just kind of putzing around here. I don't expect to win this. Just see what I can do. See if I can pull it out. I probably, you know, really bad. It's also against Iron Man Infinity War. So, yep, there you go. But yeah, Profhoff is a really good YouTuber. You know, you can kind of catch him with Katie Candy, who you might have seen me on Katie Candy stream with comments and stuff like that and tipping. You know, she's a great resource to use if you want entertainment and see how to, you know, she will guide you and answer questions. But I think I more lean towards the ILAC kind of group. You know, ILAC is a really good accomplished free-to-play player, and because, like, I'm starting to go more free-to-play, you know, I'm kind of going more in lines with, like, kind of what he's been doing with the game. But he's a really smart guy, really, you know, on top of the heartbeat of what goes on the back end of these mobile games. He's been with the community for a long time. Really outstanding guy. Really speaks for the players. Some of the top-end players don't like him, but he will talk about some of the smaller, finer details that a lot of people are upset about. But he's really good if you want an honest opinion on some of the things that go on the back scenes that you may not be normally used to in a lot of these games. From the modding to all that stuff, he has opinions, but he's also a really good player. Fun to watch, fun to be on his streams, fun to kick it up with him and just laugh. Good times there. Has a really good sense of humor, so that's why I love watching his streams. This really good sense of humor. I can bounce off of him, say wild stuff that comes to my head, because I'm one of those weirdos. You know, this. Whoa! What the heck just happened there? Don't tell me that bug is back. So we had a bug with the game where this home bar stuff would just slide and go away, and it looks like my iPhone 10 still has that issue. That's back. I'm going to be kind of a little miffed. Luckily, the game is really good. It puts it in a pause status for you. So when that kind of happens, you could just come in, okay, hit resume and go. But you could have been in the middle of a combo and then take a freaking hit to the face. By the way, this stream is not necessarily intended for kids. I'm not a young dude. I'm, you know, fairly old. I'm in my 40s. Been around the block, and, you know, there may be an F-bomb here or there, because I do get upset at the game quite often. It's not like I play this game and everything's all hunky-dory and I'm like puppy dogs and rainbows and all that good stuff. No, I get really angry at the game sometime. Been known to break a few tablets in my time. I will be there and like, oh, I want to sit through my phone. I've done that. Lost my insurance on one of my tablets due to that. Oh yeah, I have some stories to tell. Trust me. I wasn't paying attention. I was just like, okay, I could have just quit out the match, but there's just no point. Okay, so now I'm hitting that 10 streak. So now that I hit the 10 streak, and this is where it's gonna, if you want to like really get a Thanos team and kind of make your day easier, you can go along with these just like R5s. You see these R5s that I have up here, these like really strong, like 14,000, you know, whatever. I don't run Suicide, so I'm not like 15, 16,000, you know, some of these outrageous numbers. But you can run 3 of these across and just run all your R5s. You can do 2 R5s and an R4 or 2 R5s and an R3. And you can just have an easier time getting through this. Now, what I try to do is I try to go for as much points as possible. So this is a little bit harder. It's going to take a lot of time with me actually playing around with this to make sure that it's all working the way that I want it to. and to make sure that I actually can win it. Because I'm going to be trying to talk to you guys and giving you, you know, some insight as to what I'm doing and why while I'm trying to play. And that can be very, very tricky here because there's a little bit of a delay. I don't have the sound playing for me, but I have the sound playing for you. Yeah, I could put on my headphones, but sometimes I don't do that only due to the fact that the sound is slightly off and some type of champions. Plus, I don't want to hear myself on the mic. I could just turn off the monitor, but I wanted to do a free, clean first stream and just talk into it and then play it back for myself and hear how it sounds. But the timing is way off from how it plays to when it actually plays through the computer. There's like a slight delay. And I've lessened it as much as I can, but there's still a slight delay with what comes up on OBS and what gets played to you guys and whatnot. So if I go by the sounds that I'm hearing in the headset, it can be just off enough that it forces me to mess up because, especially if you play Yondu against Yondu, Yondu does these whistles when he's sending off the his arrows, or his arrow. He'll launch his arrow and he'll whistle, and you'll know that it's coming and can base your timing off that arrow, so it's sometimes really good. But when the sound is off-timed compared to what you're playing, it can be very distracting, because if you try to wait for that sound, you might miss it. So I find it sometimes best to just play off of visual cues. And I don't want to turn on my speakers because then I don't want the music to be playing through the microphone and you guys hearing the music in the background plus the music playing through the desktop. And then you'll be hearing double sets of that and having a little small echo effect, and that's not fun either. Back off. He was going to get up and do a heavy there. I should be able to kill him before he gets to an R2 or his R3. You know, right now the matches aren't too bad. They're still evenly matched, but, you know, a lot of these I'm going to have, you know, I try to set up for class advantage as much as possible. Try to reduce as much as possible the benefits that the actual reduce the effectiveness of my enemy. So, you know, you give them the class, if you get the class advantage, you're going to have more to your attack. You're going to reduce their attack. They're going to do effectively less damage, which kind of gives you an advantage with beating them. So I try to do that as much as possible, is just try to do class advantage, especially in these stages of the game, just because it's really, really risky. Like right now, you're not seeing it. Again, I've got class advantage here, so of course that really lowers him from like where he was probably like the 11,000 down to about just at 10. But it raised me up from my 9,000 up to 10,000, almost 11,000. So it kind of switched where he had the advantage originally. I switched it up, and now I have the advantage on the power rating, which just means I'm a little bit stronger in the fight, so it should go my way. Like I said, you can get these Kang teams and these Thanos teams as long as you put up something like, you know, you could sometimes do it with all R3s. I wouldn't advise it. I would really advise sticking with R4s and R5s. It makes it so much more easier for you, trust me. If you do the R3s, you're going to have a chance to possibility of the possibility of actually getting a kill squad against you. And you want to try to avoid that as much as possible. You don't want to ruin your streak. Oh, I used him down there. Darn it. What I'll do is... Didn't use the team. I like to also try to get as much of the synergies as possible. So as you can see, this guy outweighs me. I guess you can say that's a good technical term, but he outpowers me by about 10,000. It's a medium difficulty, but I'm going to still go for it because I have some tech, so I can throw some class advantage. I just got to hope that some of the other ones, like, ooh, 16,000 on Karnak. I think I could beat that, though. I think I can beat his Karnak. Let's do it. Let's do it. I feel confident with the 2 techs. My Red Skull and Iron Man should be able to clear out the first 2. And if you get that, I would just throw, you know, one of your disadvantage with one of your advantage, and then have just where you just run a straight match. There's no shame in that. But I can get a few extra points with the disadvantage and the advantages. So even being disadvantaged, I'm running a risk of losing a match. But if I win it, I could win big and get some extra points due to the fact that the power rating points and the amount of points you get per power rating is a little bit higher. It's not too bad. I was far enough away that her special wasn't going to even really hit off me, so I just chose to block rather than dodge. Now I'll have to dodge because I was kind of closer to her. That's good. Oh, this will give me some objective bonuses. We'll get one more for the fights of Furry. Space Squirrel Girl, Beast. There's a couple others on there, but... Okay, we're doing good, we're doing good, we're doing good. We got a watcher out there. Hey, how's it going, watcher? I don't know who you are, but glad to have you. Feel free to type something in the chat, I'll respond, you know. Please let me know if you can hear me, because this is my first stream ever. So if the levels are a little bit low, let me know and I can turn it up. Alright, here comes the big challenge. Whew. 6,000 power difference. See if I can do it. Thing is, Karnak's really easy to evade his specials, especially his SP1. His SP1 is really, really weak. Because he does that stomp and just stands there. So it's kind of easy to just dodge it. And he's really open at the end of it. So you can just dodge back into ditch dodge into him. Lay waste. This should be fairly easy. Harry, go into him. Boom. Boom. Dodge it, go in. Dodge it, go in. Alrighty, so we're still in our building up to our infinite streak here, folks. So what we want to do, again, I'm going to try to throw in my 6 stars. I'm going to go into my higher rating 6 stars, only due to the fact that I kind of want to play off of the fact that I want to get as much power rating out of my champs as possible to keep that infinite streak going. So that's why I like to play a lot with synergies. I'm liking, because there's not much difference between that 39,000 and 41,000. I'm going to go with the middle one, because, you know, Karnak's really easy, but I do have a class advantage against Loki, and I want to see what else is in here. Oh, I got a class advantage there, class advantage there. This might be an easier match for me. Starting to hit those Thanos teams. I got 2 more rounds of this, and then should be clear sailing after that. Like, I could throw up 6 stars, I can throw up my 5 stars. I just need to get to about match 21. Usually the safe spot I usually like is about 22 before you start going back to like your R3s. Your R3 5 stars, whoop, I just took a shot there because I wasn't paying attention. Because I just wanted to make sure if somebody was typing or anything. Ew. But once you get up to about 22, 23, you can throw up some R3s. You throw up those R3s and you should have clear sailing after that. Nothing's really going to impact you. Matches should be somewhat fair. Get into them. Ah! There we go. Got worried there. Got that special 3 lit up. But these are fairly, I've got it fairly even matched. Like, even though they outpowered me, it wasn't by too bad, and I could get class advantage. Oh! Just a couple mess ups for me, but that's okay. Gotta try to bait out her R2. Oh, there we go. Ooh! That wasn't bad. That was a bad mistake on my behalf. I mistimed my dodge. I completely mistimed that. But luckily, it's a easier match. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Oh, what's up with this low slow time? Come on, load up. Slow load times. Bad again with that. Heck. Hope that bug's not back. Bug was annoying. It was happening to us about 3 months ago, where while you were playing, it could just exit out and then swipe over. That time it went right to my messages, so it's as if that home bar, I see it's being lit up and it's staying lit, and that's what it was doing about 3 months ago. It's so annoying. You just accidentally get close to it and it swipes away your screen. It's a little annoying. Like I said, if you have any questions out there for whoever's watching, feel free to just, you know, drop a question, chit chat. Hopefully, you know. Alrighty, so 14, getting up to that 15. Let's see, who do I want to throw up there? You know what? I'm probably going to do this. It's a little risky for me. It's going to have a couple weak folks. You know, Spider-Man's not that strong. But I want that synergy. Get Mysterio in there. Yeah. I think Mysterio will be good against Kingpin. Yeah, I'm fairly confident with that matchup. Alrighty. Thank you for stopping by, viewer. Sorry you went away. I'm playing with fire here. He's got a special 3 loaded up in the chamber, but let's just... Ooh, yep, there he went. He went and fired it. Should be able to last through 1. Gonna hurt. Thing with King Groot, you want to be very careful if he has his Furies up. With his Furies up, if you try to do any kind of debuff on him, it can have a chance to shrug off. Like you see, he's got 2 Furies, so I debuffed him with the parry, but the parry wore off really fast because it actually refreshes it and gets rid of the debuff. It just removes it from him, and it removes a Fury in order to shrug off that debuff. So it's really important to know when you want to try to stack on things like debuffs, or whether or not your parry's going to really work, so you can try to time things. Like my parry didn't really work there. It stunned him really quick, but he was able to recover and block in time, so... Oh, let me back off. Yeah. Oh, yeah, poison me a little bit. Come on, poison me. Oh, stop turtling up. Ah! Well, it's one loss. Happens to all of us. Well, not some of the high-end players. Some of those end-game players are really, really good. Like I said, I've got my mind on multiple things here. Come on. Alright, come on. Come on. Come on. Whoop. Throw your special 2. Come on, throw your special 2. It really wants me to lose this. Oh, come on. Alright. I'm getting impatient. See if I can get lucky. Yeah, he was gonna come up. He's gonna do his special. Hopefully I might not get stunned. Come on. Oh man, you're just stopping right up in front of me and just standing there. Come on. There we go. Okay. Kind of redeemed myself a little bit. This is where it's going to kind of be interesting. Let's see what I can do with Mysterio. I like to bait Kingpin's SP1. His level 1 attack is really easy to evade. And it's got a really short burst. Meanwhile, if you wait till his SP2, he shoots this beam out of his stick, and it's really hard to evade, so you sometimes have to block it. If you evade wrong and it hits you, he goes unstoppable, and that can be a real pain. Oh, yes. Reflected that damage right back to him. That's the thing with Mysterio. Mysterio has a really good SP1 that allows him to reflect damage back. Now, the hope is he won't kill me, and I can reflect this damage back to him. Got my fingers crossed. Because he can do a lot of damage. Oh my gosh, look at that. That put me, like, right there. Boom! Look at that. Look at that damage that I just did to him. Man, like, my heart was racing. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that was an awesome... That's the beauty of Mysterio. Mysterio reflects his damage. After doing an SP1, you have a short window where any damage done to you is going to be reflected back. Woo! Oh my gosh, I was like, oh, don't lose this, because I knew Kingpin's really dangerous on that SP3. He can take down a full power, like, life bar. It's just, it's insane with how much damage he can do. Keep the streak alive! Alright, so now I'm going to run these guys. And the reason why I really do this normally is just because the amount of points you get due to the offset points is really, really high. You know, like, I could get a lot of points, and, like, now I'm evening it out with getting that class advantage. So, I can really gain a lot of points where I wouldn't normally gain these points. as many points in these rounds. These rounds are really developed into trying to get as much points as possible, and because your 6 stars have a huge amount of just points that are generated per character. Takes about 2 runs of a 5-star to equal 1 6-star with the amount of points you get. So I try to run my 6 stars just to try to capitalize on some of the boosts, because as soon as we get into the 16 after this match, you're going to see the points are going to be fairly comparable, but I'm going to be running higher teams. But you're going to see that they're not that much more powerful than I am, really. And that's what's called the infinite streak, and you want to get to that. And you want to still throw up higher ones, because you can still get a kill squad all the way up to the 23rd rank. So, the 23rd round, sorry. And in here. Boom. Hello, watcher. Welcome to the stream. Have a seat. Give a chat. No money, he just types it in freely. Let's see. Silver Surfer. Oh, mistimed that intercept. That's all right. Okay. And now I should be at the point where I can start working on that infinite streak. Like, you're gonna notice it's not gonna be Kang team. I'm gonna be going up against other players. It's not gonna be a Thanos or Kang team. I can just kind of throw up some really, really high. Like, I'm gonna still do my 6 stars just because the points at this level. Like, I just want to try to get through all my 6 stars as much as possible. And just build up as much points as possible. Let's see. Yep. That. Get my synergies going. And you can just see the power rating is about comparable to mine. So this is going to be really just kind of chugging along at these 6 stars. Like I said, you can also do R5s and R4s at this point in time and just wait, work it out. You can go down as low as R3, but I would wait until you get out to about match 18, 19, or 20 before you even do that. Like I said, once you get to match, round 23, you should be in the clear to just throw all your R3s out there and just have an infinite run from then on out. Like I said, about the lowest I would go currently in the game. Oh, that was a mistake on my behalf. The only time that I would really throw R3s or, with an R2, like 2 R3s and an R2, is at this point, like, beyond, like, match 25. I have a feeling that soon we're getting more and more, like, rank 3 6 stars. There's still very few in the game. But around this time, when we started getting some R5s out there, about 2 years ago, and they released the featured 5-star arena, it used to be you could just throw in R4s and R3s and R2s, and you can even do some R1s, and just have a field day with your infinite streaks. But those days are kind of long gone, that now you really, really need to throw in, like, R3s and R2s. If you throw in a bunch of R1 5 stars, you're not going to last long. You really need those ranks on these higher end characters, and it's just because the machine kind of goes out and finds a combatant for you, and it's based on the available players as well as their current roster. And as more and more R5 5-stars got in there, it raised the difficulty of these infinite streaks, and it's going to go up again when we start getting people with multiple R3 6-stars. Of course, on the 22nd, they're going to release this Abyss of Legends, which it's going to cost a pretty penny for whoever's going to take that on. I'd love to see what they're going to do with that and how much people are going to throw money at it and try to beat it. It's going to take a lot. It doesn't look like a joke. I know I'm not ready to take on Abyss of Legend. I'm fairly good, but I've been playing for 5 years, so kind of have that underneath my belt. You know what? I feel confident with Yellow Jacket. If I can get him to his SP2 and dodge it, I should be good on this match. Sure, I got class disadvantage, but oh well. Doctor Strange is always fun to play. Not as good as back in his heyday before the 12.0 patch. That 12.0 update was, oh, I remember that. We were all upset. Right. Turtle up, turtle up. You got your suicides. I love that. My despair will eat you up. Stay in that corner. Oh, dexed it. It's alright, you're down. And like I said, it's just it's very clear sailing from here. It's just, you know, it's really even matches. Once you get to your 16th match, it's really fair matches as long as you keep your R4 5-stars or better. You'll have not that much of a hard time. You can do R3s, but like I said, it's going to get riskier and riskier as time goes on. I like to save mine for after that. I have enough 6-stars. I have like, whoa, yeah. See, that's my beauty. I love Ebony Maw just for that. Is that falter? I wasn't paying attention. I was talking and I had an itch, and I was like, oh, let me itch that. And I looked down. I was like, oh, yep, look at that. Doing good here. Okay. Like I said, it's just clear sailing. From here on out, it's just easy street for the most part. It's easy to get distracted. You can lose a match here or there. I've seen Katie Candy do it. I've seen, you know, lose a match here or there. I've seen Ilac lose a match here or there. Rarely see Seaton lose matches in arena grinds, but he usually doesn't live stream arena grinds anyway. If anything, he's more like plays those maps and like beats content like no tomorrow. Like, he's such a skilled player. Legacy is amazing too. Like, if you ever catch a Legacy stream, you want to talk about some good players out there. Ilac, Legacy, Seaton, Dorky Dave. Oh, Dorky Dave. Dorky Dave was probably the one that helped teach me how to play this game as good as I know it currently. And I feel like I'm a noob compared to Dorky Dave. Dorky Diggity Dave, man. Yeah, all those guys. I'm like, they pull off stuff that I'd be like, okay. They know these characters like inside and out, their movesets, the whole 9 yards. I mean, they're amazing. Katie's really good. She has the characters in 6 minutes where she explains their power sets, their skills, their abilities. And she'll try to break it down in 6 minutes for you, so definitely give those folks a watch. I mean, those are really, really good streamers for this game. They've been streaming it far longer than I mean, like I said, this is my first stream ever. I'm just trying to keep it entertaining, keep it fun, show what I'm doing. And I figured, hey, you know, I'm going to be doing an arena grind. What I'm going to be doing is just going in, trying to get up as many units as possible and get to battle chips and just collect the milestones. I was going to be doing an infinite streak, so I felt that it was good to kind of just show how it's done. And some of the pitfalls that characters, that the players need to look out for, because it's going to get harder. It's just every single year it gets harder. If you have a good enough roster, you can really do well in these arenas. These points in the 5-star arena are just outrageous at the end of the day. I've done it. I got Claire via the arena. Had to grind out a 78 million for her, I think it was, at the end of the day. I like just grounded out 100 million for Silver Surfer. I mean, man, I just tip my hats to him. Me, I'm just trying to get the free units. Get the battle chips, get the free units, grind it out, move on, have a nice day. Try to get within the top 10%. Ooh, that hurt. Yeah. Is at the top 10%. It's real easy for me to get that. I can bust out 20 million with only using my 6 stars and doing 6 runs of them easily. So it's nothing for me to get the 10%. It doesn't take much time for me. But there's a lot of players that have to grind out a lot. Like, there's been a lot of grinding that went into this roster. I can't tell you how much grinding. There's a time my job stationed me over in India, and I spent literally 6 hours a day pacing the apartment they had me in, just playing this game. Just because I wasn't at work, and I really didn't want to go out and spend a lot of money touring. And I would grind those 4-star arenas like crazy. So I pretty much have every single 4-star that ever came out. That's what helped me develop my 5-star, as well as because that 5-star roster is pretty much key to the higher end content of the game. Like I said, it's not that I did this all free too, so don't get that thought in your head. Like, I had spent a considerable amount of money. I was a whale for a long time in this game, so you know, good job, that kind of stuff, and had lots of money. Those days are behind me now. But, you know, now I have a roster that I can kind of, like, show people, show them the ins and outs, show them tips, tricks, you know, just, like, how to grind these arenas especially. Oh, yeah, the Quake. Come on. Ah, she parried me. Alright. Ain't nothing but a thing. I'm not really aggressively playing, only due to the fact it's arena. It's not like I'm going against uncollected, which I do fairly, you know. That you kind of have to pay attention a little more. The epic, current epic stuff, you know, you kind of have to pay attention to that. But, you know, arena, as soon as you're up at these streaks at like 19, 20, you know, it's kind of like autopilot at that point in time. You really are just going through the motions. Okay, so at this, I'm kind of running where I can only usually match one person for, whoops. See, there it goes with that. Beep. Don't like that home bar lit up. It was a problem that they had. So now I'm just throwing up 2, because I don't have a lot of synergies with these last remaining, so I just throw in, you know, 2 characters that I have a synergy with, and then 1 that doesn't. Okay, let's do this one. Yeah, if I had to... yeah, let's do it this way. Wasp Evade really annoys a lot of people. It can be fairly annoying because you can do a lot of damage really quick. Luckily, this person has suicides, so that really helps me out if I stick it to... Whoop, there's her evade. But as soon as she evades, what you gotta do is you gotta just take a step back. If you keep engaging her, she's just gonna take you out. She does a lot of damage. Fairly quick, too. Had her with an SP2 take me 100% life bar down. Like, it's just insane how fast she can take you down. And got a little greedy there. I wanted to go in for the attack. I thought he was going to go into a defensive phase, and that he was going to turtle up. I was going to try to push him back a little bit, but that was my bad. We both ended up attacking, and he superseded me. Yep, there she went. Whoop, whoop. We'll go right into that heavy. But I'll just stack the bleeds up on her. The despair will just slowly take her down. She won't heal. Because anyone who's running suicides, they have to throw on willpower. Because they have to heal up any damage they're losing from their bleed and their poison. So my despair mastery is going to supersede that, and they're actually going to be taking more and more damage. And I could just really have them lose health while I'm fighting them. I like suicides. They're fun, but they can be very dangerous with Alliance Warfare on your defensive capabilities. People, like I said, they can run despair and just take you down very fast. You're really playing into their hands at that point in time. Let's see. Jugs. Jugs. No, I don't want to really roll that. Do Jugs, Domino, and Old Man Logan. Okay, I don't really want to put Domino against Ultron. She's a bleed type person, so I really want to put her against someone that I can get those bleeds on him. Alright, Ultron used to be way back in the day. We're talking back in 2015. Used to be the one everyone hated to fight. But nowadays, it's just knowing that after 7 seconds, he's probably going to come in with a dodge as his evade. Like right there, his evade came through. Every 7 seconds, there's an evade that's going to happen, and knowing when to, like, okay, at 50%, he's going to have a regen. See, it says processing. Here comes his regen. Now I want to try to parry to shut it off because I have to stun him. Whoop. Oh, he evaded and then threw a special. That was nice. Yay. $25, he's going to do it again. He gets another health. Another regen, self-repair. Just take him down. Stun him, put him out. Put him out of his misery. And then this one should be fair. I like Old Man Logan's. He builds up these passive bleed effects, but they're not really bleeds. Build them up, launch your special, and they turn right into Furies. Just extra power. That's another thing, Domino. A lot of people get stuck up on that SP1, try to put her to her SP2. It's far easier to evade that SP2 than try to evade that SP1. That SP2, you can really dash back. She does that spin, and then she shoots twice at the ground, and she shoots it about midway through the screen. You back all the way out, she'll miss you on both shot attempts, and you can just come right in after that second shot and take advantage of her openness. But her SP1, she throws out that grenade, and you can get a lot of damage. Not only that, but her special ability, she might have unlock on you, and your evades might fail. So if you try to dex out and dodge, you can actually end up taking a hit because your evade might fail on you. Alrighty. Yeah, at this round, like, whether I go with the highest one or the middle one, the points are very the same. It's just that kind of like seeing that Moon Knight on that was kind of well, I just had a feeling, a gut instinct that was going to be the fairer match for me to fight. But I see someone like that I'm going to be fairly overwhelmed with because they have advantage, and two of my characters are like in this case, two were tech. I might just avoid just to say, hey, you know what? I don't want to give a class disadvantage. So yeah, it was like 80 or 90 points less. It's not going to really matter that much in the points at the end all for those matches. I'd rather play it safe and keep the infinite streak alive than go at it. Oh, see? Boom! Yondu's at it. Bleed him to death. Suicides are fun. They give you a lot of attack, but if somebody can parry and can put on those debuffs on you, you're pretty much going down pretty quick. It makes a really quick match. Not that these guys are bad, though. I mean, these guys who are running these suicides are really, really good players, and they can clear content like no tomorrow. Like, a lot of the legend runs are going on right now for the new event, so a lot of people are going to be running suicides. They're going for their legend runs, and then they're going to switch them back. But for me, it's happy time in the arenas. It just makes my job a little bit easier. So now I'm at that 21, 22. So like right now, you can just throw your R3s up all day long. You will never have a problem. You can run an infinite streak for as long as you want. Just stick to an R3 5 stars, just all three across, and you'll be fine here on out. But that's how you would actually do an infinite streak. Now I'm going to do this one last match, and then I'm going to call it a day. I gotta go walk my dog. She's kind of sitting here impatiently looking at me. Oh, come on. Stop turtling up. Ah! Took that to the face because I was being stupid. Hate those parries. They happen from time to time. Yes, I know. I know you need to go out. 2 more matches. 2 more matches. Getting huffy with me. Just like a lady. I said no, Daddy. That evade. I should have threw the block instead of. I went in for another attack. She got the dual evade. That was my bad. Now she's evade, 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 evade. There you go. Just a pain. She's so annoying, Spider-Gwen. She just got those 5 stacks, and it's just like everything's in evade with her. What's up with the parry? Like, I went in for... I didn't even do all 5. I didn't do a 5-hit. Like, people have been having problems with the 5 hits, but the 4-hit combo should allow me to parry. Even a 3-hit should allow me to parry in time and back out. But alrighty, there we go. Whew. Done. So that's how you do an infinite streak. I hope you all enjoyed the show. Thank you for watching. We got one watcher out there right now. Hopefully you enjoyed. You know, do hit you know, do hit a like, do hit subscribe. I can use them at this point in the game because I'm a brand new streamer, first time doing it. Hope you had a wonderful time and hope to see you soon.